Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rafe Gal, and we're playing Final Fantasy VI. We are just heading out from our victory over Kefka at Narsh, and we're going to do a few side quests on our way. In particular, there is a... well, side quest is relative, I guess. Perhaps it would be better to say we are going to do some... we're gonna get some cutscenes, some background stuff. It's gonna be neat. There. Let's see, potions. We'll keep the rest for now. If you have Edgar in the front for this section, you actually get a discount on all items that you're buying. So we're gonna go ahead and buy things. The main thing that I bought here is Holy Water. Holy Water is... it actually works like a Phoenix Down in that it can kill undead enemies in one hit. So we bought 30 of them so that we can use them to get through a certain area later in the game. We are now going to sleep in order to trigger our cutscene with Sabin. So, just as a reminder, Sabin is King Edgar's brother, so he's a prince. And he left the castle after their father died. So there was no question of succession, because they're twins. Everyone's saying the Empire had Dad poisoned. The only thing any of you can think about is who will be the next king. Settle the succession with a coin flip. Do you think Dad would be proud of me? Don't you ever doubt that. I'm sure he's beaming with pride wherever he is. 10 years. Where has the time gone? Here's to a couple of confused grown-ups. Drink. Here's to Dad. To Mom. And to Figaro. There are a lot of times when I say, it's things like this that make me love this game. Because there are a lot of things that make me love this game. The fact that it has scenes like that in it are a large part of it. It's not just that there's good backstories for the characters, it's the fact that it takes time, not just to show the backstories, not just to talk about the backstories, but also to show the characters interacting, and the fact that all of the things that the characters do make sense once you understand the backstory. Oop. And as it goes further, we're going to actually find out more about that scene. As well. Okay. And I just realized that I forgot to equip certain things, so we're going to do that real quick. First of all, we're going to actually switch this out for the silver spectacles to negate her blind. Actually, we'll just leave that on since the enemies around here are using it. And I forgot that we've got the Thief Bracer and... we also have a Thief Knife, which I'm not a huge fan of, because Moonring Blade's gonna be better in the long run, but we'll leave it, or we'll go for it for now. And what that does is it does a steal as well effect. So you can attack with it. We're gonna pop in here, we hear the music, we know Shadow's here. We are actually not going to grab Shadow this time. That Terra accidentally tore up somebody's house. Okay, let's do a quick check. Let's grab a second Magus hat and a second silk robe. Actually, I don't think we actually needed that now that I'm thinking about it. Let's check this real quick. Yeah, we're good. I think Twist Headband, same defense, but it raises strength, speed, and stamina. So we're going to put those on both those characters, even further increasing their speed. And that's nothing compared to what we're going to get to eventually. They're going to be very fast. That's basically what matters there. And I think... Is it back here? Yes. Okay, so we're gonna get another similar scene with Locke. Couldn't protect her. What are we off to find today? It's almost here. There's supposed to be an amazing treasure hidden somewhere in this mountain. We're gonna find it. Can't remember anything. I'll never leave your side till your memory returns. One of the very first things Locke says to Terra. Once again, it's not just that we know the backstories, it's that we understand the characters when we see the backstories. So, Locke is now going to be stealing every time we do a physical attack. Which, while we're traveling, is very nice. When we get to actual areas in the game, we'll probably switch that around. But that's okay. Oh. I forgot something. I have notes for this reason. I should actually read them on occasion. I forget all kinds of things. That was a bad input. We will get a better weapon to steal with Locke later. Or a relic that lets us steal, rather, so that we can use any weapon. Unfortunately, being in the back row is not actually beneficial right now for what he's doing. Could give him the Genji glove. There's this hut way up here, and it is super important for that reason. We can't let the world become too peaceful, don't you see? People shine their brightest when they're at war. My Colosseum will be a monument to the glory of battle. If I can ever finish it, that is. No one will ever help me. So that dude's crazy. Just so we're all clear. So the hero ring is like a like the earrings, except it only works except it works with physical and magical attacks, which for Sabin means we can use any of his blitzes and get the same bonus. There we go. And here we go. There's a chocobo stable here. So we get a chocobo, because we're going a long way right now. And because I have no sense of direction. Also, we get to listen to awesome music while we travel. While we're working on this, I'm going to get my question list out here. We're gonna do another random question. Being a random question, it is one of the ones that came from Carrie. She asked, let's see, is a hot dog a sandwich? This is another... I feel like this is another trap. As the other Carrie questions have been thus far. So, I went and looked up the definition of a sandwich, and I did some consideration. And I feel like it is fair to call a hot dog a sandwich, keeping in mind that it is meat and toppings on a split roll, much like a Philly cheesesteak, which is a sandwich, a lobster roll, or a po' boy, which are sandwiches, and even a hoagie, which is on a split roll. Oh, that's right. So, keeping all of that in mind, and considering it, I think it's fair to call a hot dog a sandwich. Now, I don't think it fulfills the... I think it's also its own thing, and I don't feel like it fulfills the spirit of a sandwich, as it were. But it is still, I would say, by definition, still a sandwich. Yep. We're gonna have time for one more question while we walk. Let's see if I've got a non-carry question here. Actually, it is a carry question, but it'll be a more serious one. One of the other questions that was posted here was, why is the SNES the best video game system? Now, I got a couple questions like this that were very loaded for a specific direction, but in this case I do agree with it, that the Super Nintendo is one of the best video game systems of all time, which makes it easier for me to give an answer. I think that the Super Nintendo is basically Nintendo's height as far as third-party and licensed games goes. At the time, there were only a couple systems out, and Nintendo had by far the best third-party support. See if I got it right. I did not. We'll work on that. I feel like the time that this came out, actually, basically the systems after this are when a lot more emphasis seems like it was getting put on what you could do with graphics. I feel like there was a lot more function over form in a lot of the future systems. And that's not the case for everything, but there's enough where that trend was a thing. I also think that this game is a great example of the fact that sprites can actually show a lot of detail. Okay, it worked. There's some really neat effects that can be done with sprites. There's a very detailed backgrounds that can be done with sprites. You don't need 3D, especially for this type of game, to do what you're trying to do. So, I know that that's not a... I know that that's not an extremely specific answer. I would also say that, while chipset music has its own issues at times, compared to the NES, the Super Nintendo had a lot more complexity available to it, and compared to Sega, it was used a lot better. So I feel like the music from from the Super Nintendo specifically was composed in a way that allowed it to be very good. And the reason I'm wording it that way is, again, because chipset has its problems, but when you really come down to it, the composition of these songs is phenomenal. And I don't think there's a lot of people who would deny that, and we're going to be getting to one of the best examples of that in the next video or two. So, with the random questions out of the way, let's get back to the game. Zozo, the city we're in, is literally populated by thieves and liars. You literally cannot trust what they say. which is actually going to lead us to a really neat puzzle. And again, there's not a ton of puzzles in this game, but the ones that are there are really cool. So we saw a couple clues given so far about watch hands. Or what time it was. Hey, no cutting, get in line. So there's actually, the trick to the puzzle is everybody in this town lies. So because everyone in this town lies, whatever answers they give to the time can't be right. It's a very simple but very neat formula. So when you get to the puzzle regarding the clock, you set it to the time that they haven't revealed. Scratch equipped Sabin's new weapon also. So yeah. We're gonna be getting to that here. This is one of the other spots I got stuck as a kid, because this part isn't completely intuitive. You have to go into this little alcove and then jump across. One of the other things you may have noticed there is we got an item there called the Dragon Boots. The Dragon Boots are a relic. They are extremely... They can be useful, I guess. It gives them the jump command like a Dragoon from other Final Fantasy games, which can be neat. I think the more important part in this run, though, is they're very expensive. And so we're going to be utilizing them for that purpose. I guess this is as good a time as any to also mention, we have this new item for Locke. You may have noticed. The Flash and the Drill. And we have a new item for, or a new Blitz for Sabin. Which in this is called Rising Phoenix. So, the Drill is a powerful physical attack that pierces defense. The enemy's physical defense doesn't matter as much using it. The Rising Phoenix is a multi-attack magic attack, as is the Flash. Flash is like Bioblaster, except it is not poison element. And it is chance to blind instead of poison. So it's very useful. We also got the other item there for Locke that changes his steel command into Mug, which means that we can use him from the back row, still with the Moonring Blade, and still get that attack and the physical at the same time. Fire Knuckle for Sabin. And apparently, I don't have any choice as far as saving goes here. I haven't seen a save point. Okay, this is going to be probably a relatively difficult fight. I must have missed something along the way there. Oh well. So yeah, when I say that Dragon Boots are good for money, I believe they sell for like 5,000 a piece, which is a lot. And we are going to basically be selling them to buy rods. The amount of money that we're going to be needing in the upcoming sections are 60,000 for the auction house, and potentially up to 90,000 on rods. So Aura Cannon's going to be our strongest attack with Sabin because he has both the earrings and the jeweled ring, or the earrings and the hero's ring rather. We're going to have Edgar use Drill. We're going to have Locke just keep using Mug. Actually, I should just be having him use attacks because the enemy has no items. And it looks like Drill was enough to finish it off. I was completely wrong about this being a challenging fight, and I apologize. I remember it being a challenging fight. Got another Thief Snipe, so we could actually Genji Glove and have him dual wield those. That's okay. We'll have to come back to Zozo later for the item that I mentioned. Because this is the top of the tower, and therefore the end of the area. Terra? She's frightened. I am Rama, the Esper Rama. That doesn't mean there's anything stopping us from living in this world. My appearance is similar to your own, so I can live here as one of you, without fear of anyone discovering the truth. until the War of the Magi, which keeps coming up. Took place long ago. Espers fought humans who had been infused with magical powers extracted from other Espers. The meaningless war had ended. The Espers fashioned a new realm, which they exiled themselves. They feared if they remained, it would only be a matter of time before their powers were targeted again. But then one day, about 20 years ago, humans stumbled upon the entrance to that hidden realm. Humans who knew of Espers and the secrets of magic. Thus began the hunt for Gestal. The leader of the men knew that he could use the powers extracted from us to create an invincible army. Those who were captured are now in the Empire's Magitech research facility being drained of their powers. I narrowly escaped that same fate, and now I am here with you. No, she's a bit different from us. She's afraid of what she is, and that is a painful thing. Only when we become Magicite can our powers be transferred in full. So we finally find out what Kefka's been doing, what Gestal's been doing. And we know where Celus's power, and Kefka for that matter. Gave up his life to help us. If our power is used for destruction, the skies will darken and life will fade from there. You must stop them. There must not be a second War of the Magi. Obtained Rama. Kirin. Siren. 8-7. So, Espers do two things. The first thing is they teach spells. You can equip an Esper and gain spells. The second thing, actually 3 things. I take it back. The second thing is you can summon them. The attack listed at the bottom is what happens when you summon. The third thing is they have a little, some of them at least, have a little note there that says at level up. What that means is those, when you level up while you are equipped with that particular Esper, you get that bonus. It's pretty straightforward. And I just realized that I did not grab one of the other things that I thought I needed. We'll see if... Oh wait, no. We get a free warp out. Okay. Another little cutscene on the way out. So, you may have noticed I specifically equipped Sabin with the one that increases magic. Magic is what uses what a lot of the rest of his blitzes use. So we want to increase his magic stat because he has a very low natural magic stat. The other characters, the main thing is that we need someone in the party to have the sleep spell for the part coming up. We're going to keep our same party because they're awesome. Unfortunately, at this point, if you need to switch party members, you do have to travel all the way back to Narshe. Okay. So, with that, we're going to end our session for today. We have a long road ahead of us as far as our money path that I mentioned. And actually, one of the first things is available, but we are going to be doing one of the most iconic scenes from Final Fantasy VI in the next video, the opera. If you're enjoying this, please give me a like and subscribe. Check out the other content on my channel. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. As always, have a good one.